皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So this is the Omake talk of the video in my main channel where I talked about the 12 basic business greetings. If you haven't watched the main video yet, it's inside the description box. I hope you can check it out and come back to the Omake talk. So in today's Omake talk, I actually already talked about something similar in the previous video where I talked about the 10 phrases that you shouldn't use to your boss. You might have seen that too. Like for example, like gomen or naruhodo and things like that. These words you shouldn't use to your superiors and such. I think at the very end of that video, when we still used to have the Omake talk at the end, I think I talked about the same thing, but I did want to talk about it again here as well in order for me to emphasize this message, yes, because I feel that's really important. Now, what it is that, when you study Japanese, I believe if you've watched my video, I believe you're a person who's been studying Japanese, but they tell you that keigo is really important, right? Yes, for example, you shouldn't speak anime Japanese, or it's something that I've said in my past videos too. But at the same time, I really want all Japanese people who are people who are studying Japanese to understand that keigo, for example, like the things I taught you today, are not always correct. Yes, if that makes sense. I think as basic knowledge, you should of course understand keigo, and that you should definitely need to learn about it, yes, and be able to use it as basic skills, for example, especially if you're going to be in the business world. But in the end, though, it's really up to the relationship between the two people. Yes. I have had this kind of experience for example, I was trying to speak as polite keigo as much as I can, and then doing this, I saw that people would find me as a very polite person, but because I'm like a very keigo kind of man, they won't see me as kind of like a friend anymore. So it was like what should I say? There was this distance, this gap between our relationship between the superior and I, yes. So sometimes, if the relationship is a good one, or if you trust each other enough, sometimes breaking the keigo rules could be okay. Yes, because if for example, your superior or boss wants to be within a friendlier relationship with you, maybe you're going out to lunch, or just going to izakaya to get a beer, for example, and if you still continue to do the most polite, most strict kind of keigo, I think that person will be disappointed, kind of, yes, because you're still trying to make this big wall between him or her, right? So I just wanted to emphasize, like, in my videos, I sound like I'm saying that you always have to speak perfect keigo to all of your superiors, absolutely 100% kind of thing, but that's not the case. It's definitely, in the end, you need to have the skills to be able to decide, depending on the situation, whether or not you should use the most highest level of keigo, or you can break it down a little bit, or maybe even if you're really just friends and that person is just a little bit older than you, you can really just use, it's called tameguchi, the very casual way of speaking. You could do that too. You could just say, let's not speak keigo anymore, or for example, your senpai says that to you, you could say yes. That's really up to the relationship. The reason why I still make the videos, though, is that I think you should, of course, understand the most strict kind of keigo, and then gradually go down from there, if that makes sense, yes. But I just wanted to say that I have actually experienced, negative effects because I was using the most polite keigo, if that makes sense, yes. So in some occasions, speaking a little bit broken, like if you will go to work, there you see people who are more liked by superiors and bosses, right? Like maybe they're a little bit silly, or they can say some like funny things, for example. These people don't speak perfect keigo every time, like if this was a Japanese person, yes. But these people are more likely to be liked by the bosses and superiors, yes. And the person who is speaking completely polite keigo might be seen as a person who never gets friendlier, So I think I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I just really hope you understand what I mean, yes. So you can just keep in mind, but it's like, I hope you can just imagine it like, okay, I'll just keep it somewhere inside my mind, but in the end, I'll just, be myself. Yes, I want you to be yourself and not, what should I say? Suffocate yourself with really difficult Japanese, I should say, yes. So I hope those of you who watch that video to not think too much that, oh my gosh, Japanese is so difficult, I'm really scared now to go to Japan kind of thing. Just take your time. I really think that you should take your time, just enjoy studying first of all, of course, and just know that these things do exist, but it's not always the case. Not all Japanese businessmen do these things perfectly either. It's really up to relationship and who you are. If you're like more of a easygoing kind of person that can make friends really instantly, for example, really quickly, you really don't have to have that much keigo, yes, and such. So it's really up to you, and that needs practice too, and experience, yes. So I really just wanted to emphasize again in this Omake talk as well that you can relax, yes. Because I always say this because there's a lot of people give me DMs saying that, wow, I watched your video, Shogo, I'm a little bit afraid now to go to Japan kind of thing, or comments too, yes. So I just wanted to say this again in the Omake talk, yes. I hope my English skills are not really, really good, so really high, so I hope it was able to understand. If there's any other questions, if I haven't been able to make myself clear, please let me know in the comments, or if you can give me an Instagram DM, I'll be happy to answer you anytime. Yes. All right, so everyone. Thank you very much for watching the main video and also listening to the Omake talk. There will be 2 more videos I'm going to be making talking about businesses in Japan. The second video is going to be about the name card exchanging, and the third video is going to be about the upper and lower seats. I already talked about all of these in the video where I talked about the outdated rules in Japan, but although they are outdated, they still do exist, in Japan, and we do still have to practice it. So I will be talking a little bit more about them. So you just need to be able to understand the basic things you need to know about these things as well. So when you come up to Japan, you won't be like, whoa, what are these people doing kind of thing. Yeah. So I hope we can look forward to these 2 videos as well. Okay. So everyone, thank you very much for your time, and I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Goodbye.